I want you to first keep in mind something that we mentioned a couple episodes ago about the map of the camps that we're talking about here. We put it in the show notes and we'll include it in these show notes as well so you can get a refresher. After World War II ended and the narrative emerged that the final solution meant murdering all of the Jews in Europe, the story was that there were concentration camps in the West and then there were death camps in the East. And when you look at a map of the former German occupied territories, a very conspicuous fact emerges. 100% of the camps that are claimed that no one was industrially murdered were in the Allied places where we could go after the war with witnesses. 100% of the camps that we're told are murder camps were behind Soviet-controlled lines.
Woe acts like this is some sort of evidence that the Soviets completely fabricated the idea of extermination camps in the East. He says 100%, which actually is true, but there's only 6 camps. He says this like you're supposed to think there's hundreds of them or something. General Patton described what he saw as a murder camp. Western allies were able to visit Majdanek as early as August of 1944, and Western allies did actually liberate several camps with homicidal gas chambers. These just generally aren't considered to be extermination camps because of the scale in the scholarly background. There's a lot of debate between what makes something a pure extermination camp, a partial extermination camp, what is a death camp, etc. For instance, we know that there were tens of thousands of people, some estimates almost 100,000, killed at Mauthausen, which was liberated by Western allies. Polish press even mentioned the existence of the extermination camps during the war, and there's all kinds of evidence that the Western Allies knew about the atrocities being committed against Jews during the war too. The extermination camps existed in the East, and we knew about them before the Soviets could have screwed around with any of the history. SS reports from during the war that were analyzing how the Polish people were reacting to their treatment by the Germans actually used the Jews as an example of a group that the Polish population was worried they were going to be treated like, explaining that based on what they had seen as Poles, they had feared they were going to be ethnically exterminated. And other official Nazi documents mention extermination policy explicitly. This one, by a government official, details how if they were an extermination ghetto, they would be able to receive a high concentration of Jews. Otherwise, they couldn't. This document acts as an example of how the concentration of Jews was considered to coincide with their extermination, as a matter of policy. But why would Woe contend with any of that information? If he's completely content with just finding memes off the internet, why would he expend any mental energy at all to address, for instance, Hitler directly calling for the extermination of Jews in speeches, claiming that they're parasites, when all his audience demands is more memes? Why would he ever risk exposing his audience to this kind of information when they don't demand it be addressed?